Okay, so I've got the lovely Luni with me today. Hi, Luni. You all right?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
That's okay. So, Luni, we spoke to you back in February, which was a lovely interview. Got to know so much about you from originally from Denmark, living in London, or based in London, a classically trained singer with such a beautiful voice. But that was back in February. So, what have you been up to? Tell us. Where
Oh
have
my
you
gosh.
been?
I feel like I feel like my life has sort of flipped on a plate since we spoke last. And February feels like forever ago. I actually, in the end of March of this year, I went to Bali to escape London, the
Oh, fantastic.
cold, lockdown, all of that stuff. I just needed to get out. And that was amazing. So now I've been back since September. But that was an absolute most incredible time of figuring out like what am I doing with my life, as one do when they go to Asia. And then I found out that I was pregnant. I got
Woo!
signed by a record
Congratulations.
label. I
Wow.
quit my job. So yeah, there's been a lot of things happen since we spoke last, and I'm just super grateful for everything that's happened, both the ups and the downs.
You've had such a super busy year. Oh my God. Now, this year, I don't know about you, but for me, has flown by. But you've managed to squeeze so much into it, including living in Bali for what was it, 5, 6 months? How
Yeah, I
about?
think, yeah, and I totally feel you. I feel like this year's gone so quick. I feel like 2020 was like the longest year of my life. 2021 has just gone with like in the blink of an eye. But at the same time, I feel like it now because I'm 29 weeks pregnant, every day is quite long.
Yeah. So when's it time for bed? When's it okay to
Yeah.
say? Oh, bless you. Yeah, but Bali, what a great experience there. And as a creative, as an artist, how did you find Bali as an influence? What was it like over there? Like still doing your singing and your production and everything?
Yes, I thought it was going to be a little bit hard to be creative there, but actually, there are so many people that are incredibly creative in all kinds of ways. It doesn't necessarily just need to be music. There is art, there is health, there is sort of startup, there is, tech stuff, there's everything, architecture. There is so much. I feel like it's like this oyster of creativity, which I had not expected to be in that way. So it's actually really inspiring being surrounded by people that, in their own right, are thinking outside the box, because that makes you think outside your box and be like, oh, how can I do what I want to do in a different way? And so that
Mhm.
was really interesting.
Yeah, funny you should say that. There's a couple of people I know who have, toyed with the idea of, because since lockdown, a lot of people have realised they can actually work from home, and that means work from Wi-Fi. So as long as
Yep.
they've got a connection, they can do it from anywhere in the world. So is that do you notice like many people doing that over in Bali?
Oh, that's like heaven for anyone that's doing any digital
Yeah.
sort of work. There's so many. And I would just say, do it. Like, if you are a little bit bored of where you are and you have the privilege of working from anywhere, go explore, because there's so
Exactly.
many
Yeah.
that don't have that right now. But if you do have that, I would just encourage, you have absolutely nothing to lose. And especially going to Asia, I mean, quality of life is a little bit different. You can get weekly massages, go get a facial now and then, get your nails done all the time, go and have dinner, amazing food out and about every day, and your budget is still going to be fine. It's not
Wow.
like the UK.
No, no, not at all. But if anyone follows Looney on social media, you'll have seen a lot of those stories and stuff from when she was in Bali, and it looked absolutely amazing. But you're back with a bang now. You're back in the UK. You say that you're not working anymore. So what happened there? What's the reason for that, and what are you doing instead?
So that's a long story. I'm going to make it really short. But I was working full time for a really big label on the admin side of things, so licensing, sync, and that side. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. I'm a creative. I wanted to make music. I wanted to produce my own music. I wanted to take that to the next level. So I decided that, nah, do you know what? I don't want to do something that doesn't bring me joy. I was literally watching the clock every day and it sucked the life out of me. And I just thought, what is this all for? Do you know what I mean? I just had this moment of like, what on earth am I doing? Spending so many hours in a day for minimum wage that doesn't even bring me joy. So I just made a decision and stopped doing it, which was really terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I am an artist. I recently got signed by an independent record label, and now I teach particularly young women how to produce their music from their home, because that's something I felt I didn't have when I was starting out making my music. So I try to bridge the gap. And obviously, as we all know, the music industry is very male dominated. So I want to create a positive conversation about having more women do what they want within the industry in whatever capacity that is for them.
How fantastic. So you're not just doing it for yourself, you know, you're not just in taking a leap of faith and doing it and leaving the job behind, but you're actually empowering other women to do the same. So that's fantastic. That's a really good and worthwhile, satisfying role. You know,
100%.
best job of your life. Well, no, actually, the best job of your life is coming up soon, isn't it? But being a mom. But yeah,
Yes.
that's fantastic. Oh my gosh, well done, Luni. That's great. And how is the music production going? Is it all good? Have you got lots of people and lots of money?
It's actually gone really well. So I've sort of launched it this year. And I guess when you launch anything new, it's sort of that fear of like, oh, do people actually gonna like join? Or but it's actually been an incredible journey. And the more I speak to people, the more I realize how much of a need there is for it. But do you know what? When I started producing 7 years ago, I didn't feel, maybe I didn't know the right places to go, but I didn't feel there was a lot of resources out there. Now there is endless of resources. There are so many communities, there are people that are there to help you. There are literally so much. It makes me so happy to see that there are so many different courses that you can do, people you can partner up with, places where you can network, whether that's online or in person. It's literally like exploded, and I love that. And I've learned so much just from working with other people. It's really beautiful and interesting how it teaches. I bet you feel the same. Like when you hear people's story, you learn something yourself, and I love that
absolutely, as well. Yeah, you always take the little bits that you don't know or that you want, or you're like, oh, I never thought of that. And it just I'm a big believer in planting the seed with people, so that they, even if you can't do what they're going to do, you've planted that idea in their heads and they've run with that, So you might not have the skills, or not talking about you personally, but you might not have the skills, or you might not have the environment where you can do that, but somebody might. So, one thing links to another, doesn't it? So absolutely.
100%. And I think it definitely also teaches me of looking at myself a lot more, and what can I learn, and where are my limiting beliefs holding me back? Because there was definitely like a little voice in the back of my mind saying, but you're this like artist person, like how can you teach other people production? Then I was just speaking with my partner, and he just said, well, you can teach people how you got to here, and that's got you this far. So why on earth are you not doing that? You might not necessarily need to know everything. You just need to know your niche and then teach that really well.
Exactly. So if I wanted to come on one of your courses today, what would I need to do to find them? Where would I?
Well, my website, it's beatsbyluni.com, but honestly, the best way is just get in touch, whether that's social media, email, whatever floats your boat. Get in touch. Let's have a conversation. I always want to have a conversation with someone to hear, first of all, what's their story? What would they like, and what are their goals? What would they like to do? I might not be the right person for them, but if I'm not, then I might pinpoint them in direction of where they can get what they really want.
Exactly. So, you might be the stepping stone for somebody. You might be that person that plants that seed. Who knows? So, talking about music production, then you've produced, and your new single, is it Lion Lace? Yeah, Lion Lace. Sorry, beg your pardon. But I heard it back in February, and it's such a quite sensual song. I love it. It's really, well, we've already spoken about what it's like, what we think. Put it this way, you won't be cooking the dinner to it, put it that way. But tell us a little bit about the track, and how's it doing, and what have you done with it so far, and where did it all begin? So
oh my gosh, it's I think I wrote that song about 4 or 5 years ago. And it's weird how sometimes you don't realize when you hear a song, you thought, oh, that's just been made. Well, actually, sometimes it's the same with the book. Like there's so many steps beforehand, and that track has been worked on for so long. And it's, but I was dating this person about 4 or 5 years ago. Wasn't really sure if that was it. Like my story of dating has just been, never could find the right person. Always felt like I was a bit weird, or I always wanted too many things, or like I was too ambitious, or I was too creative. I never really found a person that could match that. Now, since then, I have, but in my entire story of my life has just been an absolute nightmare when it comes to dating. And I was seeing this person, and I just didn't really know if I liked him or not. I was just like, there's nothing wrong with you. I just don't have that feeling. So the song is about how you're not really giving yourself everything. I easily know I'll lie in nice underwear for you. It's called Line Lace, but I won't give you my heart. I won't open up to you. So it's sort of a reflection on that. And then because I come from a classical choral sort of singing, I wanted to loop in a lot of backing vocals, but have a really electronic, fun, upbeat vibe. So we tried to mix that together, but I worked with it with like, so I'm a producer myself, but I was listening myself dead to it. I couldn't listen to that goddamn song anymore. So I had to get other people involved and just, can you figure out what it needs? Because I work with actually quite a few different people to get it to where it is, but I am really happy with it. And I am just a bit relieved that it's out. You know, when you work on something for so long, I was like, it just needs to get out. I just need to not get over with it, because I don't like that way of saying it, but sort of,
share it with people, isn't it? You know,
share what I've been working on, and then, you know, move on to the next thing, because I feel like that song was written so long ago and so many things has changed in my life. So I feel like, yeah, it's a good time to progress.
You've certainly built it up. We're going to listen to the track now so the listeners can make their own mind up. So this is Luni and Light in Lace. Okay, that was fantastic, Luni. How is it doing at the moment? Is it doing really well?
Yes, so it's it was a bit nerve-wracking when you release a track, because you never really know until the day how it's going. And I just had these crazy like anxiety about it, because it's my first release. I recently signed with a record label. There's all this quote unquote pressure and expectation about it, but I feel like it has gone really well. I've been featured on Spotify in Denmark and have a couple different radio placements, which is amazing. And I've been doing a collaboration with a Swedish perfume brand. So my record label is based in Sweden, and we have done a giveaway, which has been really fun. We're doing another one before Christmas, so it's not too late, but you can win some fragrances from this super cool, fresh brand if you like stream my song or like follow me on Spotify, whatever it was. And that was really fun to actually do some more hands-on project.
And do you know what? The theme tune to a perfume, it being quite a seductive track, is perfect for that type of music. Honestly, it's perfect. You saying that now, it's like whoever the marketing is, that's bang on. That's absolutely perfect. So yeah, so fingers crossed. That's fantastic. I've got a couple of other questions, because you did mention that you were pregnant at the moment. You're 29 weeks pregnant today, so congratulations. So that's another new role coming up for you. How are you doing? How's the pregnancy been so far? Is plain sailing or
do you know what? Oh my gosh. Pregnancy is just a whole other journey that I had not. Well, I guess the first time you do anything, you never really know how it's going to go. The first 3 months were horrific. I salute the women that have to stand up on their feet all day working. Oh my God, I have no idea how you manage, because I was working from home at that point. Got up in the morning, managed to actually get outside, get some workout, came back and crashed. I slept for the whole day, felt incredibly nauseous the whole day, every day for 3 months. And then I suddenly became a bit of energy. We had a bit of a complication, and that was, we didn't tell the world until we knew it was safe, and then get over that hurdle. And it suddenly brings out all this fear I didn't know I had in me about loving this weird creature that's in my belly. But now I feel good compared to how far along I am. I'm 7.5 months. I feel like I have energy some days, other days are just no, but I'm very grateful and just embarking on this next chapter.
No, I've had 2 children, and it's only now, and I hope by me telling you this, you realise this earlier than I did, but women are amazing. We can reproduce a human being. It's like, you know, and as I've had 2 kids, you know, you kind of just think that's the norm, you know, you get married, have a couple of kids and all that kind of stuff. But when I reflect on it, I'm just like, oh my God, we can actually make another human being. That is amazing. And, you know, the things that happen during that pregnancy, and your body is just so amazing. Like, you're tired because your body is helping to grow this baby inside you. It's just, I could go on about that forever, but it is just an amazing process. It really is. And you know, women need to rule the world. They really do. But you know, there you
Yes.
go. We will one day. As you do. But being pregnant, how do you think that's changed how you've been as a creative? Has it had any influence on you at all, do you think? Because there's lots of hormones, lots of different emotions going through, and as you say, you know, you felt this fear that you've never felt before. So do you think that's had an influence on you?
Well, absolutely. I definitely feel that because it's had an influence on everything in my life. I think the good parts have been it's made me clearer on my purpose in life. I just think less of the little things that doesn't really matter. Well, you have still have days where I get annoyed, but in the grander scheme of things, I think it makes you think about what's actually important to you. And and that's really useful sometimes, not get hung up on stuff. But I think it's also, well, I'm a very emotional human being regardless. I'd cry any day. So that hasn't helped. But I think also, yeah, it definitely reflects in my songwriting now and the way I communicate. I think maybe I'm becoming a bit more sensitive in my way of
Wow.
communicating.
Gonna say, because you do come across as quite a sensitive person anyway, so if that's made you more sensitive, it's like, whoa.
To be careful there.
Yeah,
But at the same
yeah,
time, I
she's
think,
fragile.
yeah,
Oh,
but it also sort of makes you a bit stronger, I think, or at least for me, because, you know, when I look about 12, I'm not, but I've chosen a very different type of career. I have a lot of dreams. And now I've also decided to be a mum all at the same time. And I think that sort of brought up so many limiting beliefs and questions in around society and how the norms you're supposed to live your life that I've managed to push through stronger and actually be more set, like, no, actually this is what I want, and I'm going to find a way to do it the way that I want to do it and how I want to be a parent, and still have the life that I desired without having to give up everything. And I think I want to see more people out there like that. And now that if you live your life the way you really want to live your life, and that sounds so much easier, it's always easier said than done, there's still really hard days. I think that's going to have a greater impact on other people.
Definitely. I think pregnancy is one thing, you know, and then when you become the mom, that's a whole new ball game again. So you have definitely
let's have a convo, yeah. After the
you've
baby's here.
definitely got a lot of things going on here, and you're not at the end of that journey at all. Do you know what I mean? It's a lifelong journey. So, but it's a beautiful one, absolutely beautiful. And I believe that all the changes are for the better. You know, you do get stronger, you do get resilient, you do get less selfish as well. I don't mean to say you are selfish, but you don't tend to think about yourself as much. It's not about 100%. What you want, it's about what that baby wants, and it's just beautiful. It really is. So it's been beautiful to speak to you today, Luni, and I'm so happy about the pregnancy and about your singles being launched. And you said you've got another one coming out. On baby comes out, and so does another track.
Yes,
which is fantastic.
So obviously we're just doing everything at once in my life at the moment, so why not just slap on another thing? Yeah, so my next single, I'm really excited about this one. It's called Parallel Universe, and that's out on the 4th of February. My due date is 25th of January, so either there will be a baby in the world, or I will be somewhere squeezing a human out.
Well, I hope it all goes very well for you. It's an absolutely amazing time, and that rush of love when you first see that newborn baby is amazing, and I can't wait for you to feel it. And hopefully, you never know, you'll get some inspiration to write more tracks about that, so that'd be great. But lovely to speak to you today, Luna, and we'll speak to you again soon. All the best.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for today.
No problem.